You know that feeling, right? The tickets are booked, the countdown is on, and you can practically taste the adventure. But here's the thing. Being truly ready for a trip goes so much deeper than what's in your suitcase. It's about understanding the health risks that are unique to you, because it turns out the biggest variable in your travel health, it isn't the destination, it's you.
So in this explainer, we're going to build your personal travel health plan. First, we'll figure out your own traveler profile. Then we'll look at a few specific situations, the last-minute trip, the health risks you find in huge crowds, and the kind of careful planning that's needed for what we're calling considered journeys. And we'll wrap it all up with a universal checklist that every single one of us needs before we head out the door.
All right, let's get right into it. It's funny, we'll spend hours researching the best restaurants for a trip, but almost no time researching ourselves. The official health advice you read for a country, that's just a starting point. Your own personal health, your age, even the reason you're traveling, all these things can completely change the game and rewrite your risk profile.
So as we go through these next few profiles, I want you to keep this question in your head. What kind of traveler are you? Are you a spur-of-the-moment adventurer? Are you heading to a massive festival? Or maybe you're someone who's traveling with a pre-existing condition. Figuring this out is honestly the first and most important step to smarter, safer travel.
Okay, first up, the spontaneous journey. Now, this profile actually covers two very different groups. You've got your classic last-minute trip taker, but you've also got a group with a surprisingly high-risk profile, people who are visiting friends and relatives. We call them VFR travelers. And in both of these cases, it's that lack of formal planning that can lead to some really overlooked dangers.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because it completely flips what you'd expect. You'd think the tourist, staying in the fancy hotel, is the more vulnerable one, right? Nope. It's actually the person visiting their family who often faces the biggest risk. And why is that? Well, it's because they step outside that tourist bubble. They stay longer, they eat more of the local food, and that comfortable feeling of being home means their guard just comes down on those crucial health precautions.
So, what's the big takeaway for our spontaneous traveler? It's not don't go, it's go smart. Seriously, even one quick visit to a travel clinic can be a total game changer. Make sure your routine shots are up to date, pack a really solid medical kit, and, this is a big one, get a signed letter from your doctor for any prescription meds you have. That little bit of prep work makes all the difference in the world.
All right, let's shift gears to our next profile. This one's for anyone heading into a massive crowd. We're talking a religious pilgrimage, a huge music festival, or a global sporting event. I mean, these are incredible, once-in-a-lifetime experiences, but they also create a uniquely intense health environment.
Just to get a sense of the scale here, just look at the Hajj pilgrimage. You've got over 2 million people coming from every single corner of the globe, all crammed into one place. That kind of density puts an unbelievable strain on sanitation and health services, and it basically creates a perfect storm for health issues to just explode and spread with shocking speed.
And the number one risk here is what's called a communicable disease. It really just comes down to simple math. Millions of people sharing the same air, the same food, the same bathrooms, it means things that spread from person to person, like the flu, can move like wildfire. This is the single biggest threat that authorities have to plan for.
And we're not just talking about catching a cough. Yeah, you've got respiratory diseases, but you also see outbreaks of food and waterborne illnesses because the systems are just overwhelmed. Then you have environmental threats. Heat stroke can be a major killer. And, tragically, physical injuries from things like stampedes or just simple overcrowding are a constant, very real danger.
Okay, our third profile is what we're calling the considered journey. This is for anyone traveling with a specific health condition, someone who's pregnant or is of an advanced age. For these travelers, careful planning isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely non-negotiable. So this table here gives us a quick snapshot of what that planning looks like. For expectant mothers, for example, that second trimester is usually the sweet spot for travel, but avoiding high altitudes or really remote areas is key. For older travelers, a doctor's visit is essential, even if you feel perfectly healthy. And for travelers with HIV, it's all about having enough medication for the entire trip, having the right medical paperwork, and knowing the correct way to pause medication if you absolutely have to avoid the serious risk of drug resistance.
So we've looked at spontaneous travelers, massive crowds, and these considered journeys. But what about the rest of us? Well, the truth is, there are some basic, foundational steps that every single person should take before they travel, no matter what their profile is. This is your baseline for a safe trip. So here it is, the 4 steps every single traveler should take. Think of them as your non-negotiables. 1. Consult an expert. 2. Get protected with the right shots and meds. 3. Pack a smart medical kit. And 4. Get insured. I am so serious about this one, do not skip it. Some countries won't even let you in without proper travel insurance. This simple plan is your single most powerful tool for a safe trip.
And this is why it all matters so much. This quote from the World Health Organization really connects your personal checklist to this huge global effort. When you take these simple steps, you aren't just protecting yourself, you're actually becoming part of the system that keeps international travel safe and possible for everyone.
So, the next time you're packing, after you've double-checked for your passport and your tickets, just ask yourself this one last question. Have I packed my plan? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing you'll carry with you.